2nd, 2023 regular session of the City Council is called to order. Would you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes. Shelley, roll call.
Becky Curtis.
Here.
Julie Osmond.
Here.
Alexander Williams.
Here.
Gina Reed Hitler.
Here.
John Breckenridge.
Here.
All right, that takes us to our first public participation this evening. Please, if you want to talk to us, please come up to the microphone, fill in your name and your address. Please talk into the microphone so the people that are watching can hear what you say. You have 5 minutes.
Good evening. I have a real simple question. Where are we on 36? On Griffin Road?
Good question.
Sure, I can answer that. I was talking to Spire today. What happens is the Brightspeed fiber optics on the east side of the road has been completed. The Spire gas line on the west side of the road is being done now. They said they would have it done by the 15th of October, and we anticipate then the paving being done by the end of October.
The paving, you think, should be done by the end of October?
By the end of October, that's what we think now, yeah. And I'm making a prediction, I can't make a promise about the future.
I understand that.
That's
So
our best.
Corey Phillips has got his schedule cleared and ready to roll?
We'll have
Yes.
an update in the middle of our council session
Yeah.
too.
Thank you.
My name's Guy Breitnauer. I live at 418 North Mead. Like to know what the issue is with the westbound 36 intersection that we've taken out. I'm sure there's probably been a lot of questions on that. Just like to know if there's any update. We're going to get one back. So,
You would like,
I've called like 3 or 4 times, no answer,
I
left
appreciate
voicemails,
it.
nobody's answered them.
We'll address that.
Okay.
And answer. I'm sure there's others that need to know. So we'll also address that as during the manager report. Is that right, Steve?
sure.
Does this get addressed at some other time?
It'll be addressed tonight.
Tonight?
Yes,
In just a few
in
minutes.
just a few minutes. We'll talk about it. Anyone else? All right. Then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Sure.
Item A, motion to approve the minutes of the September 18th, 2023 regular session. Item B, motion to approve the minutes of the September 21st, 2023 Council Park Board joint session.
Are there any requests to remove any items from the consent agenda to the regular agenda for discussion? All right. Then let's vote on those. All in favor of passing the consent agenda, say aye. Oh, the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All right, so Bill will go on and vote. All those in favor of passing the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It passes 5 yeas and 0 nays. Appointments?
We have no appointments.
And that moves us on to the city manager's report. Steve?
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor. And since I was out of town all last week, I asked Zach to come up with the first things, and I'll ask him to make that report, and then I'll have 3 additional items for you.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Yeah, just a couple things to point out. Staff will be meeting with Edmunds this week for our kickoff meeting. Of course, as you know, Edmunds has the GovTech software that we'll be switching to. We think that transition will take approximately 12 months from the initial conversations we had with them. But again, like I said, we'll have a kickoff meeting and then we'll start evaluating a lot of different procedures and stuff that we do and things here. But again, so we've got that started, so that's good. Also, Carmen and staff have been working on the fiscal year end. We closed that out here last week, so we've got that going on. So again, a lot of time and effort goes into that, and also year-end inventory, those kind of things, and we'll be starting to get ready for upcoming audits here coming soon. So, and then also the final thing to make note of, we continue to work on filling our vacancies for staff. We've had a lot of interviews these last couple of weeks, and like I said, we've got a few people lined up, and then again, we're working on some of the park positions now. And I believe the Public Works Director is closing here, I think, soon. So, but again, we keep working on getting those key positions filled.
Okay, so to get a little bit more in the details, because I'm just like curious. So you've interviewed for the Parks Director and then other
We
positions?
are setting up the Park Director position, the interviews right now.
Okay.
And we made the decision to hire the superintendent first, get the superintendent on board, and then hire the maintenance coordinator position. So like I said, so we thought at least we could get the superintendent hired, get them here, and get them involved with the process of filling out the rest of the staff.
It's hard to do when you're short-staffed, isn't it?
I've sat in on a lot of interviews.
So am I, and I haven't even started yet, and I'm short-staffed, so I know, it's hard. So.
But we did have interview stuff last week for our apprentice lineman positions. Had a lot of good applicants, a lot of good interviews, and so we'll be evaluating those, and hopefully we can get somebody in here soon in that position.
I'm going to ask Steve a question about the positions. The position for Public Works, and if that's closing, again, I'm just kind of curious. How long did it take to get somebody filled in that position by the time that it got closed? Do you remember the last time?
About 3 or 4 months, I think. And I talked to the company now, SGR, 2 weeks ago, and they extended that period of time out because they had not gotten very many applicants, and they thought they'd extend it out and do some more advertising nationwide and we'd get some more people back. I was going to give them a call today and find out where they were, but I did not get to it. I'll do that.
Well, it's understandable. It's your first day back. So, okay, good. I just kind of wanted to have some idea.
Yeah, I'm watching that one very closely and working on it as fast as we can.
Oh, no, I know you are. Well, I guess.
And one of the reasons I'm doing that is because right now we're all doing several work and we're doing that job as well.
I know you guys' plates are really full. My heart goes out to you all. So that's all I got. Does anybody else have any questions for Zach?
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Zach. Okay, I had 3 things. One, we talked about Griffin Road a little, and I did have a chance to talk to the project engineer who is working for us on that. And so he did give us a good update that Brightspeed, the fiber optics on the east side of the road, is complete. And Spire, 2 weeks to complete that. And then CP Excavating is ready to go. As soon as we have that done, he believes that they'll be able to do that on the 15th. And only take a couple of weeks for them to get that done. And so the end of October is a good guess from him right now, unless something else comes up. We don't know about.
Well, that's been a deal, hasn't it?
It has been. But
okay. And then did you want to also address the closing of the medium on
Yes.
Highway 36?
yes, I will. That's Highway 36 in Ensign Trace. You know, about 4 weeks ago, we had a lot of discussion on it. And for everyone's information, that is permanently closed by MoDOT now. It's not going to be opened up again. And they did that because of liability issues with accidents there, and it met their criteria to do that. So that's what they're going to do.
Did you also want to share the fact that we as a city asked MoDOT to put that there, and they said they would unless there was enough active Please correct me if I am saying something wrong. Do you know about this? No? Okay.
No, the main point from the MoDOT standpoint is the city has no authority to keep that open. Even if you guys wanted to, you couldn't keep it open. That is purely MoDOT.
Yes, we are
So
the city.
MoDOT has the right to close it.
Right,
They
it
made
reached an
that decision.
accident threshold, and that's why they slammed the door, and we are the ones that asked for that, and they put it in for us. But the criteria was that if it hit a threshold.
Yeah, but what's the threshold? I mean, I don't understand that.
Well, the guy was here and talked about it. I don't remember what he said it was.
Yeah, we
He said if it went above the state average of accidents, then they would close it down.
I've been driving that road for 15 years. and,
man.
I mean, I've seen more accidents between Osborne and St. Joe because of the shoulder is not wide enough than what was the problem there at the intersection. I've only seen one really bad accident, and that's not saying that there's has been more. And my heart goes out to any of them people. But to me, I walked that today. It's actually 1,000 from the tip of the top of the hill to the actual intersection where you start to veer off. It's 1,056 feet. I Googled what it would take the average car to stop at 55 miles an hour, and that was 206 feet. So clearly there's plenty of room for someone to make a judgment call. I just think it's people that's trying to beat the traffic. It's not the intersection. And for us, I mean, it's not that much more out of my way to drive down Walnut and come over the overpass, but it seems a little harsh. And sorry that I wasted your time, because I'll talk to MoDOT now.
Well, Mayor, if I could offer a suggestion. As a city attorney said, it's not our road, not our responsibility. They have no authority for opening or closing it. We talked to them about making some adjustments to it, and what they decided to do was to close it down. And the district engineer came here, made 5 different trips here to talk to members of the city council and the staff. And what I will do, I will call him up. He would be glad to come and talk to you, and I will get your name and your number, and we'll have the conversation with that.
Yeah,
And you can get the information from him, which is better
If it's on
information
that
than we
paper.
have.
If it's on that paper.
Yeah, I'll put my phone number down.
Sure.
Just contact me.
Sure, I'll have him call you, and he can give you the full explanation, much better than we can.
Well, I think the explanation is not going to suit my needs, because I really don't understand the closing of the intersection. I really don't. So I just think it's I actually understood there was a big outpouring about it, that people was kind of upset over the intersection being closed.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I mean, we
It's a
didn't even
huge
get a
inconvenience for my.
yeah, huge inconvenience. So it's a shame. I'm sorry for taking up your time, but yeah, I'll take that over MoDOT.
And we'll get some more answers back for you.
I appreciate that.
Sure.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the last thing I have on that was I wanted to point out that if you all could look at the last page of your packet, that Zach Johnson received a Distinguished Service Award from MPUA. And that award recognizes an official or an employee of MPUA who provided distinguished service to the Alliance for organization for many years. Thank you very much, Zach.
Congrats.
And unless there are any other questions, that's all I have.
Questions? So we'll go on to unfinished business. We have a second and final reading on Bill 2023-29. Joe?
Bill 2023-29, an ordinance providing for the annexation of unincorporated territory and the extension of the corporate limits of the city of Cameron, all pursuant to section 71.012 of the revised statutes of Missouri.
All right, I will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2023-29 on the motion. So moved.
Second.
All right, discussion? All right, no discussion. I guess that means that we will vote.
Julie Osmond.
Yes.
Alexander Williams.
Yes.
Gina Reed Hitler.
Yes.
John Breckenridge.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes. All right, now that moves us on to new business. We have a first reading for Bill 2023-30.
Bill 2023-30, an ordinance authorizing the city manager of the city of Cameron, Missouri to enter into a professional services agreement with HDR for preparing a master plan report for a new utility facility, Task Order 13.
I will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2023 on a first reading. So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Again, this has been a long time coming. This is something that we've been talking about for a long time. And then with the sale of our building and the land to NW Electric Co-op here last year with our storage facility, it kind of forced us to ramp up our efforts on constructing a new storage facility. So what you have before you tonight is a resolution for HDR to put together basically a site plan and a master plan for us. That would include developing the space needs program, 5, 10, 15-year projections, and it would also include a final site layout, grading plan, cost estimates, and of course the final master plan. Then once we receive that information, then we can look for ways for funding these endeavors. We anticipate this to kind of be a phased approach is kind of what we're going to look at. Probably be starting with just a pole yard and pipe yard and possibly some cold storage. Then eventually we would move towards a shop and facility.
Any questions for Zach?
Do you know where you're gonna put it?
We've kind of identified the land behind the substation and water tower out there across from the prison. That's the initial site we looked at, just because of the fact that it's really not real developable back there. It's city-owned ground, and like I said, with it being behind the substation and behind the water tower, it just kind of works for a potential pole yard, kind of out of sight, out of mind. So that's the area that we're looking at first.
Will that affect any potential housing there? Would it cause any effect on that?
And that was why we kind of picked that area back there. I mean, again, like I said, behind the substation, underneath the water tower, that's not real desirable to be, and it's far enough away from Walmart, any development that might be going on that side. There is, and the city does own the land to the east of that. It's currently owned by the park that they have purchased. So the city does own that land as well. So we're surrounded by city-owned land. I think it's kind of a good location because, like I said, it is kind of not real desirable and kind of out of sight, out of mind, which is kind of what we want when you're storing transformers and large reels of wire.
And then, I remember when they were talking about putting the parks there was a lot of problems with grading and so on and so forth. Is that gonna ramp up the cost of that?
Well, and that's part of what this study will take a look at. Like I said, if this site does work, I mean, part of what they'll be providing will be a grading concept plan. So we'll have an idea of what grading would be needed and essentially what that cost would be.
I was just wondering if, since we've already got an idea that you can't put a park there, that it's gonna be a lot of grading that we can't.
Yeah,
We spend a lot of money to study something that we've already studied.
Yeah, like I said, we wouldn't, and again, we wouldn't necessarily have to have a perfectly flat surface for pole yard, pipe yard, stuff like that. We can work with the existing contours.
I'm somewhat confused. Didn't know we were going down this route. To get an item on the agenda, we have to have a motion and a second, correct?
If we want to put
If we want to put, so this, did you put this on the agenda?
Yes, and I may be a little premature in having brought this to this council without having maybe gone to a work session and done some more discussion of it before we got to this point.
Well, we had our strategic planning meeting and we had our strategic planning meeting and we kind of set our priorities. And I don't know if I was asleep at the wheel or something, but I don't remember this really being discussed.
Yeah,
Me either. Me either.
You must
Not
have been
this
asleep
year.
with me.
I remember something about it when I did that short and run stuff last year. But
So I was just kind of, when I saw it in the packet, I was just kind of surprised. Let's put it that way.
Yes, and it's been talked about with previous city council, and we did not, I think, talk about it at the strategic planning meeting. Maybe that's a good time that we should have, so.
And then you were gone last week. We have a meeting with you every week, and I don't remember being brought up.
Right. We have not, and so perhaps what we could do is go back and take a regroup on this maybe and do a work session on it or so, bring some more facts and information to you before it comes again. And this is utilities money, so it's not general fund money.
So there's money involved too. Was this the 93,000? Was this the?
Is this in your budget, Zach?
99,000, yeah, and it's divided among utilities departments.
Was this the study?
This is the site plan study. The next one is the rate study.
Okay. This was up to a maximum
99,000.
of 99,000. And the next one was a study up to 82,000. So a total of 179,000. Well, I must have been having a senior moment. I don't remember talking about this.
You want to postpone it?
I make a motion to postpone ordinance 2023-30.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Postponed, and it's going to you, Steve.
Okay, good. I'll continue to work with it. Thank you.
So when we postpone it, how long do we postpone it, just till the next meeting?
Unless a date outside of the next meeting is stated, this would come back on the next agenda. But that would give staff, based on kind of some of the comments that were just sounded off, 2 weeks to work with council and then prepare additional information.
Definitely needs to work with council. We knew nothing about this, and it was a kind of surprise to all of us.
It's not a surprise to me. We talked about this last year when we talked about selling the storage to Northwest.
Right, we knew that they were wanting to do this, but nobody's ever said anything how
Well,
it
it's a
is.
surprise to me, and we just found out.
So, I mean, normally we say
Normally he keeps us
tomorrow.
pretty abreast of what's going on, and we didn't know anything about it.
You didn't know.
Well, I didn't know anything about it.
Thank you.
Okay, I didn't know anything about it.
All right. Let's go to our other ordinance, first reading for ordinance 2023-31, Shelley.
Bill 2023-31, an ordinance authorizing the city manager of the city of Cameron, Missouri to enter into a professional services agreement with HDR for conducting a utility rate study, task order 14.
I will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2023-31 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Again, this is a ordinance to enter into an agreement with HDR to conduct a utility rate survey, rate study. We'll be looking at all 3 utility rates, electric, water, and sewer. Again, the project will consist of, the data collection. We will review financial rate policies, and then we'll also have public meetings to display or to present the findings. We'll develop rate models. Again, also develop rate design to cover projected costs for the next 10 years, I believe. So, but again, this will be evaluating electric, water, and sewer rates. Again, I think it's good practice to do that from time to time.
When was the last time?
The last one, the last electric rate was 2018,
I would say
19.
I remember that.
It's been a while, but water and sewer hasn't been done since 2014.
Yeah.
So,
I have not done that.
and I think with the Obviously, with the Great Northwest Wholesale Water Commission coming online, rates changing there, it's definitely good practice to do that. And also, like I said, we had some upgrades to our wastewater treatment plant, and we need to start planning for construction of a new wastewater treatment plant. Again, it's just a good time to take a look at all three of those.
And just so that everyone understands, the reason we do this is so that we have a really good idea of how to set our rates. Is that
Correct. Yeah, like I said, we want to make sure that our rates are adequate to cover future expenses, and also it gives us an opportunity to, I know time of use rate has been the top phrase lately, but again, like I said, it gives us an opportunity to look at kind of some of those things and see what's out there, and again, just keep us in a good position moving forward.
Two things I'd like to add to that. One is this had been an item that was on council's strategic planning things from previous council to do a rate study.
it was?
And the second thing is it's very timely now because what happened, we've got the rates going up for our wholesale rates. And as Zach said, we've got the Great Northwest Wholesale Water Commission. So all of those things need to be looked at now. So it's very timely that this is the time we do that.
Any other questions for Zach? All right. Let's go ahead, and all those in favor of passing Bill 2023-31, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
4 in favor, 1 opposed. All right, next is our second public participation to the city council. Again, like you said earlier, come to the front, speak in the mic, put your name down, you have 5 minutes. All right, well, let's move on. Miscellaneous comments from the staff. Steve,
I have nothing further, Mayor. Thank you.
you can tell us how your vacation was.
Yeah, it was great. I got a lot of work done and had a good time, and but it's good to be home, actually.
All right. Tad's not here today.
No, he'll be out all week.
Okay, all right. Tim?
No.
Chief? No. Carmen? Zach? Counselor?
Nothing.
Charlie?
I did go to a grant award committee meeting with Norma a couple of weeks ago. I am on that committee, and we doled out almost $250,000 in grants to Norman members. Some of those grants are for the city of Cameron, and they will be coming back at some point in the next couple of months and doing a presentation for the grants.
Oh, great.
I believe our police department is receiving. They
Yay.
don't tell us what we're doing, what department it is, but I'm pretty sure we have some of those.
Well, good. Super. All right. Well, I guess we'll go to Counselor Austin.
Well, I'd just like to congratulate Zach on his recognition. I know you work very hard, and so sometimes it's really nice to get recognition for what you do. That's all I have.
Counselor Breckenridge.
Shout out to the people of the organization that ran the Cameron Soccer Club. We had a soccer tournament a couple weeks ago, and you kind of took the bull by the horns. That budget is pretty tight, it's pretty tapped, and there were some questions about porta potties or something, and you took it upon yourself to take care of that yourself, and that's what's needed in our community. Went to the MLS meeting a couple, 3 weeks ago, kind of glad I did. It had some legislative things going on there. One was supposedly before the Missouri legislature, the discontinuance of sales tax on food, grocery stores, how it affects municipalities. And sadly, political wokeism is alive and well in our MLS. Tried to get a ordinance passed. I was at the back of the group. I didn't exactly hear it all, but some type of making it illegal to have a conceal and carry within the whole municipality across the state or some sense instead of just the typical areas where I guess the schools were. That was defeated handily. Most of the MLS, a lot of small towns, pretty conservative, and I'm glad to see they did that. That's all I got.
Thank you, Don.
There's a carnival coming to town. The last Main Street Mania for the year is Thursday. And also the Ozark Amusement Carnival Company, which is the one that was here at the 4th of July, not this last summer, but the year before, is coming to town for just a final, I guess their final show of the year before they go to their winter hideout or whatever they do, winter retirement. I hope that everyone will bring their children. I think it's mostly a small children's carnival, but they do say there's something for every age. It will be at 4th Street by McCorkle Park, and just a very small carnival, but it's a carnival. It's a lot of fun. So Main Street is helping to sponsor them.
Thank you, Gina.
The homecoming parade was really nice. It's always a treat to see parades because I did marching band 4 years in high school, and you get to watch the parades when you're in them. So I really got a kick out of that. It was really fun. I missed the fire department though. I was kind of hoping that there'd be a fire truck in the parade, but I don't know. I don't get to watch these parades. But it was a fun parade.
So what instrument did you play then?
I played the saxophone.
All right.
It's alto sax for most of it, tenor sax.
I can see you as a band nerd.
Thank you.
That's humble.
All right.
Alex the sax.
Alex is set.
Being nerds are the greatest.
Okay. Well, I want to say also congratulations to Zach. He's had his hands full, always since he's been working in our city and even more now. And job well done. And we also like to say welcome to, we have college students in our audience today. I want to thank you for coming. Glad you're here. Be sure, and we're going to go to an executive meeting, but if you guys want to ask us some questions, come on up afterwards real quick. You want to? I know there's a lot of volunteers that are going on. Dream Catchers was this last weekend. Takes a lot of volunteers for homecoming. I just want to continue the thing. We also have big trash pickup. When is that?
This Saturday from 8 to noon, and right across from the PD Fire Department.
Am I going to be there?
Yes.
Okay.
I forgot to mention.
I'm always there. You can let me know.
You have
Me
to
and my
have
yellow umbrella.
two forms of ID, a driver's license with a current City of Cameron address and also a current utility bill.
I'm going to repeat that since you're not in mine. If for you to drop anything off, you have to prove that you're a city resident, that you live here, which means you show us a city utility bill plus a valid ID, and I'm the one that will be checking them. Yeah, well that's fun. I love getting rid of
What
trash.
if you have a city utility bill, but you don't live inside city limits, but you still have trash service inside city limits?
I would say you pay for it, right?
You don't pay for the trash service.
So you have a business, but you don't have a residence.
Correct.
I think you qualify.
I was gonna say, you got a city utility bill with
Well,
that address.
he said an ID with an active Cameron address.
Yeah, I think that was.
My address isn't.
Okay, so if you're a business and you have trash,
I think it's more designed for residential.
um,
It's more for residential purposes, not.
well, you know what? I will have Tim take care of that if somebody like that comes. So you're good.
Tim, can you tell us again what the date is?
This Saturday, October 7th, from 8 to noon, right across from the PD and Fire Department in the parking lot. You will enter off of Cherry Street and then exit off of 2nd Street, go to the east.
We'll have it roped off.
Yeah.
We won't tell you where to go if you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. No chemicals, no tires, no batteries, just regular.
Freon.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, All right, we're really glad to do that. Do you have something else?
Tim, there's gonna be a meeting that you're gonna be at, and there's not gonna be free food.
All right.
Huh?
No, tomorrow.
All right, so I think that's all I have. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn the city full council and then open up in executive.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Alexander Williams.
Yes.
Gina Reed Hitler.
Yes.
John Breckenridge.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Julie Austin.
Yes.
All right, we're adjourned.